Let's move now to reaction outside the United States. Our special correspondent, Ryan Chilcote, lived in Russia for 20 years. He is in Moscow tonight to tell us what the Kremlin had to say about the Mueller report and to help us flesh out some of the details of what the Russians did in 2016. Ryan, as we mentioned, you lived there for a long time. You've had contacts with Russian officials over the years. What is standing out to you tonight?
What stands out to me, Judy, is the extraordinary lengths and unconventional approaches that the Kremlin took to establish off-the-radar direct communications with the Trump administration in the lead up, during the campaign, in the lead up to the inauguration, and after. For example, Mueller lays out how the head of Russia's sovereign wealth fund, a banker, reached out to one of Jared Kushner's friends, a banker, to work on what is effectively a Russian-American peace plan, a way of reconciling differences between the two countries, acting as an intermediary for the Russian president. Another example, we know that Paul Manafort, who was, as you know, obviously the campaign manager for the Trump administration for much of 2016, he reached out to someone that he had worked with, the Russian billionaire Oleg Deripaska, who I interviewed earlier this week, that he had done consulting with for a number of years before, and he offered him information about the campaign polling data, at least according to Mueller, in the lead up and after the actual election, to settle a debt, to settle a legal dispute that he had with Oleg Deripaska. Now, when I interviewed Deripaska, he said that the last communication he or any of his representatives had with Paul Manafort was back in 2010 or 2011, but Mueller says it was in 2017, and they were discussing foreign policy. A third banker also said that he reached out and to the U.S. administration on behalf of the Russian president to establish a back channel. He said that he was subpoenaed by Mueller and himself said that. All he said because President Putin asked him, because the Putin administration, the Kremlin, was desperate to get some kind of dialogue going with.
It looks like we may have lost the connection to Moscow and to Ryan Chilcote. We're going to try to get that back up, but it looks like we do not have it right now. Take a short break. We'll be right back.